taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Whoa. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
At all, we do not.
Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Whoa. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
At all, we do not.
Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Whoa. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
At all, we do not.
Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Whoa. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is...
Hello, hello. I am Brian Piotr, and we are live with Liberty Tonight, where freedom never sleeps. This is the anthem that we need to be repping this week after Thomas Massie, Rand Paul, together showed us that if you scream loud enough, you can make DC do what they want, even if they're kicking and screaming. And so I've got to hand it to Congress today. They did something that almost never happens in Washington. They actually voted. Overwhelmingly, 427-1 in the House and unanimous in the Senate to force the release of every last scrap of the Jeffrey Epstein Files sitting at the Justice Department. Flight logs, investigative notes, communications, the whole rotten pile. The Epstein Files Transparency Act is on its way right now to Donald Trump's desk. I'm going to hit this applause button a lot tonight. And look, I'm not here to pretend that this is suddenly a bipartisan love fest, that everybody there is now willing to seek the truth. This was their feet being dragged for months and months and months. And it's because survivors stood outside the Capitol with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie. And that's especially the libertarians who've been screaming about the elite pedophiles in the political class for years. This isn't about closing the border, rebuilding the military. Those things matter. But this matters more. This is about the most basic principles that we have. No one, no matter how rich or how connected, how many private jets they own or islands they hide on, is above the law. Epstein did not kill himself in that jail cell. It was not an accident. He sure didn't traffic underage girls to the most powerful men on earth without a whole lot of people in government looking the other way. Intelligence agencies, bankers, politicians on both parties, scientists, kings and princes, you name it, they all partied on that island or on that plane. They all pretended that they barely knew the guy when the camera showed up. Mr. President, sign the damn bill. You said you would. You said you'd do it during the campaign, that you'd release all of the Epstein files. Do it tomorrow. Don't wait 10 days. Don't let some bureaucrat at the DOJ like Pam Bondi review it. And when you sign it, add one line in that big Sharpie of yours. Release everything. No redactions. We already know the victims' identities, and maybe not all of them, but the majority of them. You're not protecting any of them. I want to see the full flight logs, every name, every memo. Let the chips fall. Because if this country is not strong enough for the truth, then we should not stay a country. Because the truth is, they hate the truth in Washington. The state should never, ever be in the business of protecting pedophiles and their enablers just because they donate to the right campaigns or trade secrets with the right agencies. If some sacred cows in Hollywood, Silicon Valley, Wall Street, or even the past, so be it. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, and the American people have a God-given right to know who among their rulers are trafficking kids. And we're not asking for a witch hunt. We're asking for the truth. We're not looking for fake witches. We're looking for the real, actual pedophiles. Sign it, Donald Trump. Release all of that information. Let us find out who's the criminal. Who are the criminals? And let's put them away. Oh man, that was my first attempt at writing a really important monologue, and I know that Donald Trump is not going to see this, but I mean it with every fiber of my being that I want the list. I want to check it twice. I want to find out who's extra, extra naughty. And I want to hang them from a very tall tree. And yeah, that's me. There's a lot going on tonight. There's a lot of Epstein stuff related things going on. And I'm going to start it off with this short video with Tim Burchett.
We should find out where the money went. We should find out where the money went when they were down there in that island. Not just the Epstein Island, Haiti. But too many people got rich off this. Look, Benny, here's how it works. It's just the NGOs, and let's talk about them non-government organizations which are government. Just my bill to defund the Taliban. 1,000 NGOs plus you add the UN.
Why are we still giving the Taliban money?
NGOs.
Of course we're giving them
money. Flows. And Elon
are you
Musk
getting money?
had it
I'm not
right.
getting money.
And that's why I think both parties shunned themselves from him. Because
I'm not saving lots and
money
lots
flows right back to Washington.
Okay, guys,
and he told me, he said, I think it flows in the pockets of politicians. I mean, you had the ranking member of the committee I serve on that went through the bill to defund the Taliban, which, still waiting in the Senate for them to pass it. All kinds of confusion over there. They're fighting over the NGOs. The money, he told me the money flows right from your pockets to the dadgum NGOs. The NGOs, the money comes right back to Washington in the form of dark money and in the pockets of politicians. That's why you're seeing Republicans go.
Yeah, guys, it's illegal for you to launder money. It is standard operating procedure, probably written down in secret notes under the desks in Congress about how to launder money legally, how to do it yourself. It's an absolutely insane world that we live in, that is a thing. Let me check the chat. Bruiser55, welcome. Laissez-faire, bro. We love you guys. Thank you for coming. Can I have some critical analysis on this whole Trump and Bubba situation? I do not know if and when things happened between those two, and I hope that did not happen. Oh, damn, it's Liberty Tonight, says Barney Styles. That's it. We're Liberty Tonight. I love you guys. Very excited to have you here this evening. We have Analyzing Finance with Nick coming on the show in 50 minutes. He has he's coming up on 90,000 subscribers on YouTube. He focuses on class commentary. Really, he started out as Analyzing Finance with Nick, and I've known this guy since high school, but he found a vibe. His vibe is basically saying he's got several videos. You can go on Analyzing Finance with Nick's YouTube channel and look at it, talking about parole drift. This term is about when you do something that a poor person does, but you spin it as something that you choose. Like, you used to say, I'm living in a van down by the river, but now you say van life. I'm embracing van life. So he's got several very, very popular videos on YouTube that really hit a vibe, and I'm really proud of him. And we're going to meet him, and we're going to talk about some important issues after the top of the hour. So here's us going back
no credible information
to the worst appointment
None.
that Donald
If
Trump
there
ever
were,
had,
I would bring
Cash
the case.
Patel.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, Pam Bondi's right there.
There's no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one
For the information that we have
in the files.
in the case file,
Okay.
there's no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one.
Okay, so you heard it twice, nice and clear. And here's Massey.
No credible information that he trafficked them to anyone else. According to victims who cooperated with the FBI in that investigation, these documents in FBI possession, your possession, detail at least 20 men, including Mr. Jess Staley, CEO of Barclays Bank, who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked victims to. That list also includes at least 19 other individuals, one Hollywood producer worth a few $100 million, one royal prince, one high-profile individual in the music industry, one very prominent banker, one high-profile government official, one high-profile former politician, one owner of a car company in Italy, one rock star, one magician, at least 6 billionaires, including a billionaire from Canada.
Okay. You gotta go, Cash. You're not allowed to lie. You're not allowed to come to Congress and lie to Congress. They're your oversight committee. Our votes mean nothing if Congress has no power over you and you can blatantly lie to all oversight. And then we find out the truth and you get to keep your job. That's not how it works. If I did this in a job where I just lied to my supervisor over something very trivial, but obviously intentional, I get fired. So would every other American in this country. If you lie to your boss about income statements or what you did or didn't do, they will fire you. Every right to. And we have every right to, as Americans, deserve to see you fired for lying to Congress. How dare you, sir? How dare you? And you're using FBI resources to protect your girlfriend, and when people accuse her of being an Israeli spy, you're suing them with the full force of the government with your unlimited funds. You are being a despot. I believe that you look Middle Eastern and you are acting like a Middle Eastern despot. Even though I'm sure you're from a different place that has different kinds of despots, it doesn't really matter to me. It's not not American, very un-American. Don't like it when you act that way. Please leave the country. Got it? Okay, so from here, what do we actually expect to happen? I demand names, but I wouldn't bet money on it in Vegas. If you asked me, I think we're gonna see a lot of this. What's that? Is that a redaction? She had years to go as Florida AG to go after Epstein and did nothing. Botched the rollout, and now she's in charge of the redactions. If the Attorney General makes a determination that covered information may not be declassified and made available in a manner that protects the national security of the United States, including methods, sources related to national security. Yeah, this is what's going to happen, guys. We're going to get the entire thing redacted. Donald Trump can claim victory that we released everything, and they're going to hope that the majority of the public goes, "Oh, got it. We saw it. It was nothing. It was a nothing burger. We got it. It's a Russia hoax." And they're going to redact all the things that really matter. So we can't let that happen. We just cannot let that happen. We have to take it when they do that and campaign against them. We have to shut off our donations. We have to donate against their opponents. We have to use that as the number one most important issue and on campaign stops. We have to ask that question at every campaign dinner and event and fundraiser that every congressman shows up to until they really, really can't handle it anymore. When they realize that they can make the problem go away, that they actually will. That is what we have to do. And here's the lady herself.
The issue with the new information that you just indicated, is the department seeking information perhaps from the Epstein estate because Mr. Blanche did not have that information when he interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell? What new information, and would you limit the new investigation to just those named persons that the president talked about, or is this a broad, open-ended investigation?
I would refer to the Deputy Attorney General's post that he put out on X, and we're not going to say anything else on that because now it is a pending investigation in the Southern District of New York. You're on point.
Yeah, we're going to say that everything's subject to investigation, and you ain't gonna see it. You ain't gonna see nothing, buddy. You're gonna have to pay extra for that. Okay, we got a deal showing up for everybody who would like one. Thank you for someone who just bought the coffee a moment ago. As always, this is our most popular sale item. This is DJ Brian Piotr. We have whiskey barrel aged coffee. It is a fantastic flavor. I have been graced with one of the best flavors on the ForLibertyShop.com. Some people are buying it just because even though they don't like me, they like the flavor. If you buy 2, you get a discount. You buy 3, you get $7 off. You get a discount for the more you buy. And then you can also subscribe where you can save more and more on every monthly purchase. So please go and check it out. We also have a general Christmas sale going on. Limited time only. I don't see the pop-up for the Christmas sale, but I know that it's there. We go. Oh man. I'm gonna be blocking it. Buy 2 boxes of coffee, save $3. 3 boxes of coffee, save $7. 4 boxes of coffee, save $12. That is a great holiday volume discount. I don't know if it's going away after the holiday. And then for those who love us, please go to ForLibertyNetwork.com for our Discord, where we are talking to each other on a daily basis. This is where you make friends. This is where you reach out to me because the X chat has completely gotten trashed. So you want to talk to me? You want to become friends with me? Let's do that on the Discord. And feel free to at me on random threads about random items. I got nothing better to do than to talk to you and become best friends with you. That's what I got to do. That's what we're here for. This is what this whole show is about. Share this show with your friends. Like it on Rumble. Like it on X. Help me tickle the post. Make the algorithm love us a little bit. That is something free you can do. And I really appreciate you, for everybody who subscribes on a regular basis to us. Let me check the chat. Breezer55 says, I have thought since I saw the Diddy trial that Epstein was a middle rich guy. that like to get handies girls in late teens. Yeah, he was a billionaire who never managed anyone's money, and no one rich ever actually had money managed by him. So he's an Assad agent. He worked for the Israeli government, which is why it's not coming out. Okay, next thing up.
211 Democrats voted to protect a woman who was colluding with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to make sure this is clear. I want everybody to understand this. 211 Democrats voted to protect a woman who was colluding with Jeffrey Epstein to go after their political enemies. What does that say about all of the claims they've made about Trump? Now, I know the liberals are going to have every excuse in the world. 211 Democrats.
Clip it. Yeah, just because the Democrats voted our way today does not mean they're our friends. So please go share the show with your friend. If you want to talk to us, rumble.com/libertytonight. Oh, man. Let me do this. Okay. Do. Brian, heads up. Oh well, I give up. I was going to turn on Rumble GIF. I think I may have it somewhere else, but I have a fancy little number for showing off my Rumble. Go to rumble.com/libertytonight. Same spelled as here and here. That is where you're going to join us in the chat. That's where I'm going to interact with you all night long. And let's just wrap up our Epstein story with one more item. Let's go back to the long time ago, which was 2020.
In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. I don't care. No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to the cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done Netflix, you win everything, good night. But no, we got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here and your own plane, didn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and off. Okay.
Gosh, time moves by so freaking fast, doesn't it? Can you believe that was 5 years ago? That is... I have a 5-year-old who was born in April of 2020. That's a pretty crazy thing that she was born same year that video came out. That feels like ages and ages ago. By the way, having a home birth in April of 2020 was an incredibly interesting time to have a baby. I actually went to my boss in February of 2020 and said, I'm about to have a baby. This is baby number 3. I need a break from traveling. Turns out the whole world got a break from traveling that year. And when everybody went home for lockdown in Colorado, I had a baby. And churches weren't open. Normally when you have a kid, and I'm having number 5 due in March. When you have a kid, people come by to see the baby and drop off food. And at that time in April 2020, it was weird. It was say hi through the glass door, drop off food. We weren't really that concerned about the viruses, about COVID, even though we hadn't had it. But everybody who brought us stuff was, little old ladies who were deathly afraid of it. One of my neighbors on my street lost his wife to COVID, where they were both sick with COVID, and they got driven to the hospital by their son or daughter, I don't remember, and they separated her and him into 2 separate hospital rooms. And when his wife was dying, they would not let him into the room to see her because he had COVID. Like, yeah, so does she. We both have COVID, and she's dying. So he wasn't allowed to be in the same room as her during COVID. And that's going on at the same time as my new baby and being completely isolated from the world. And all of a sudden I was going to have one life. And then from there, I did the next 4 years virtually at work from home, remote job. And it was a crazy difference. Yeah, I had COVID-19 paternity leave, and it was excellent. One of the best times of my life. Having a new baby and being alone with your kids, except for there was this craziness where absolutely insane people put caution tape around the playgrounds because I don't know why. I have no idea why. The playgrounds were closed. And like we're all at home and the kids are running around and I'm not allowed to go to the playground. Like, okay, guys. One of my friends, Carl, who watches this show, he drove around the whole city and ripped off the caution tape off of every playground in the whole city. He just thought this was super stupid. And I'm super happy to be friends with him. We had a lot of pranks together. I hope we have many more to come in the future, even though he's still in Colorado. So I had an actual wonderful moment of the opposite of isolation, really a lot of fulfilling moments during the heart of lockdown where everybody's afraid for their lives. And I did eventually get COVID in November of 2021. It was a year and a half later, and I lost my smell, which I did not get back until February 2024. So it was 2.5 years where I couldn't smell anything, which was really crazy. I started taking a medicine called Welcall for mold removal because I had also gotten exposed to mold. And one of the side effects is it brought my smell back. And that was wild. It was a wild roller coaster of a life to live through. And I was always provided for. Didn't lose my house, didn't lose my job. I know so many people that I've seen acquaintances and heard of people that literally lost family relationships and got divorced. Terrible things happened to them over COVID. And luckily for better, my life got better through COVID. And it's not because of me, it's only because of the grace of God providing for my family. And I'm very happy to have only gained friends during that time. And what's crazy is, and I remember going on Facebook and arguing with people. I had a Facebook account back in 2020 saying, don't shut down the churches, don't shut down the cities. Doesn't matter if it kills people. The government is taking power that they should not take. And I had the most Republican people yelling at me, it's different. People are going to die, Brian. It really matters that we stop people, we slow the spread. And to this day, I have never received an apology from any of them. And I regret nothing that I said, and I was right in March 2020 when I was saying nothing should be shut down. The government is taking power they should not take. And man, it was a crazy world. It was such a crazy world to live through. I went for jogs, and I remember this really overweight ranger lady, like with a mask on, outside in the sun on the trail, coming up to me to say put on a mask, and I just ran right by her and was like, she's not going to catch me. This lady can't run. And she didn't. I had people, when I'd go out on hikes in the mountains, would scream at me that I wasn't wearing a mask and that I wanted to kill people. It's like, the programming was 11 out of 10. Government, you did an amazing job of brainwashing. I can't believe it to this day. And then people went back to normal one day, just like, let's never talk about it again. Let's forget that it ever happened. What? The government took all that power? Epstein literally trafficked in teenage girls? And you can just know things are true and nothing is done about it. It's just not a secret that he did this. And yet we're protecting everybody who was a criminal for some reason. And in 2020, we know the names of the people who violated our rights, and nobody's going to jail. No, like I haven't heard of a single city councilman, governor, senator, state senator. Nobody has gone to jail for going past their constitutional rights and forcing small businesses to shut down. People lost their lives, their shirts. People killed themselves because city councilmen and county clerks and stupid government bureaucrats took power that they didn't have and ruined people's lives. It was straight up dystopian 1984 communism. And I'm never going to forget what they did. And I will not forgive. Like, until I get an apology and then maybe a jail sentence. No, I'm taking that with me forever, that you guys did that to this country. And this, man, never forget, never forgive. I'll forgive when they, they say I'm sorry and they donate their entire salaries to people who lost their companies. Oh, man. I'm just going to move on. Okay. Speaking of Democrat traitors.
Kelly. Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community.
That guy stole his race in
each day
Arizona.
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are
so
under enormous stress and pressure right now. Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
Like us. You all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you. We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Okay, let's watch the next video on this topic. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what is that saying, really? You're calling for the military to create a civil war, to go against orders, and to fight with the government, their leadership, just like the Democrats did in 1860 when they left the Union. They are not only saying that, they're saying, we've got your back. How do you have their back? If Democrats are allowed to get back in office, they are going to tear the ranks apart everybody who is on one side and the other side of the aisle. There's no more nonpartisan military for them. This is, you're with the trannies or you're with the maggots. Then they've divided the military up. You're going to pick a side. And if you're on the wrong side, expect prosecutions. Just like they took people out of the military for not taking the vaccine, they're going to do that and more next time they're in power. So this is not a time to be a coward. This is a time to deport the illegals, to redo the census, to require a vote in person, on paper, hand counted, and remove the Democrats' chance of gaining power again. Legislatively, make the changes that need to happen and do it with 51 votes in the Senate as the nuclear option, or we will lose forever. They'll do the same back to us. They get back in power, it'll be 30 million illegal immigrants coming in. It'll be the 51 vote nuclear option. They will just clean house. We're lucky that Joe Biden's administration was super incompetent. It was an amazing blessing that they cheated their way to put an incompetent person in power. He did lots of evil and was pretty bad president. But imagine if he had been a strong man and very competent person. If he was Obama level of competency, but today's level of woke, think like I don't want to say AOC, because she's not competent. In a lot of ways, she's extremely weak and feeble. Chuck Schumer's evil enough, but I feel like he's probably too lazy to be successful. I don't know if you get, hey, there's the rumble.com Liberty Tonight bug at the top of the screen. I knew I could turn it on. Tell me, guys, what do you think? Who would actually be? Anyway, one more video on the traitors.
Examination. A single so-called illegal order, it just proves the point. It's a general call for rebellion from the CIA and the armed services of the United States.
Per X, Donald Trump signed the bill to restore the Epstein Files. Wow. Can we stop with this video template? It hits like a star stripe. What video template are we talking about?
By Democrat lawmakers saying that you have not only the right but the duty and the obligation to defy orders of the commander-in-chief, that those who carry weapons in America's name should defy their chain of command and engage in open acts of insurrection, that the CIA, the clandestine service, which isn't even legally authorized to operate in the United States, should engage in, again, acts of rebellion and insurrection. These lawmakers should honestly resign in disgrace and never return to public office again for even daring to think, let alone to say these words and to say them proudly. But it shows what a dangerous moment we're in. We have seen the Democratic Party nurse the flames of violence and insurrection against the federal government for the last 10 months. When you see this continuous campaign of violence against ICE officers and Border Patrol agents, when you see Democrat sanctuary politicians and Democrat sanctuary governors side with the rioters, side with the assaulters over federal law enforcement, and that spills even into juries and grand juries when you see Democrat jurors engage in nullification to let off violent attackers who are engaging in physical violence, physical assault against federal officers. This is a dangerous moment. You have a political party, an organization, the Democrat Party, and their message is that any action, no matter how unlawful, no matter how dangerous, no matter how much it threatens constitutional order, is justified if it keeps Democrat policies in effect.
Okay, time to go back to the chat. Barney Styles saying 10 people repeating the same line. That's what I'm talking about. It was an avant-garde a decade ago, but it's way past its prime. Yeah, it's not creative. It means that they don't have to think about it, that the work is done for them. They don't even have to ask Grok and do something unique. They can just read the script that's emailed to them. Nothing like redoing what people were doing a long time ago.
And nobody's here. Nobody came in. Yeah, these guys are really fucking shaking up over here. All the excavators are shutting off right now. Yeah, no one's turning them on because, yeah, no one's here. I don't know if you realize this, but everybody here was undocumented. To be honest with you, I was thinking about it, and if you want me to continue working, I'm going to need a raise. I'm looking for $200 an hour. It is what it is, Frankie. You want me to operate the fucking machine? This is what it costs.
Oh, man. This is like the traffic in Charlottesville. I can look that up. Can I spell Charlotte? Here we go. Come on, the top thing was... Department of Homeland Security. Oh well. I'm gonna ditch that, but come get some coffee on the forlibertyshop.com. What do you guys think about this when some random person online is making LARPing riot videos for Ireland? Like, I don't know if you guys remember the Arab Spring, but Facebook was the first time that you could organize online, and it was uncontrolled. So all across the dictatorships of the Middle East, including Egypt, people got together and rioted off of Facebook. Facebook then clamped down really hard, and there were some EU rules and lots of other countries that put in rules to try to stop this type of thing from happening online, because Facebook doesn't want to be responsible for their overthrowing governments. So they are actually working on the side of the governments to prevent this kind of thing from happening. This kind of reminds me of that whole trend. Like, oh, well, here's a new trend. But like, who's this dude? 2,000 viewers. And I feel like it's kind of just LARPing. And this live action... The scary thing about LARPing is it's always just LARPing until, you know, shots are fired. So like in America, it could all just be LARPing until one day when actually people are shooting. But people don't have guns in Ireland. So I'm not sure that this is even possible in Ireland. I think that they just got conquered and that they are dead. Like there's nothing that they can do about it. So I'm not sure if they're actually going to be capable of saving themselves. Their only chance would be if Conor McGregor himself convinced an actual army unit of his cause, right? Like there has to be a source of organized men that turn it into a reality. And I have no idea if anything like that's possible. If Conor McGregor could get any size group in the army in Ireland to actually turn on their own government. But somebody would have to do something like that because the average person has no access to firearms. They're overweight. They got no shot. This country is a bunch of sheep. So I wish them luck, but I'm not sure that this online stuff, other than hyping up a few people, making them feel like they're doing something, is super effective for the actual country. Love to know what you think. Go to rumble.com/libertytonight, type in the chat. They're trying to recruit for the IRA. Yeah, they're trying to recruit for something. And I wish them luck at overthrowing their prison colonies. Their wardens are crazy, crazy liberals. We have 18 minutes until Analyzing Finance with Nick comes on and we have a cultural discussion. I would love it if you came and gave me your chats right now saying, these are the questions that I have talking about the future. What are the legislative and social changes that we can make to actually change the future of America? We have a baby gap. People aren't making babies. We have an affordability gap. People can't afford homes. What are the actual most effective changes that are actually possible that will change the trajectory of America to make us prosperous, to have our population grow with Americans for once, for the first time in 70 years or 50 years, whenever the last time was we finished off the baby boom generation? And how do we get there? How do we prosper? How do we turn off the Fed? How do we actually make changes to this economy and to this society? Ask questions like that. I will for sure ask Nick Pardini of Analyzing Finance with Nick. So Elon Musk and Donald Trump seem to have made up. And this is really nice. It shows you that Donald Trump doesn't hold grudges, just like Austin Peterson has said on his morning show that Thomas Massey and him could get back together. I would really like it if they did. Just like Trump and Elon could get back together. The Crown Prince in Saudi Arabia has promised over $1 trillion in investments in America, has made a deal with XAI to sign over billions and billions of dollars to work with XAI and put AI in Saudi Arabia. Here's a beautiful picture with Elon Musk in the back, Donald Trump, and their local dictator from Saudi Arabia. Man, I don't know. There's so many countries I can't visit because of the things I've said online about their dictators. Like I get that you put women in bed sheets and that you have ultimate control to kill journalists whenever you feel like it. No judgment. I don't want to go there. But I'm happy that you're spending $1 trillion in America. This is obviously good for geopolitics. Close your eyes, bro. What do you see? Nothing, bro. That's my world without you. It's nice to see the men back together. I really appreciate it. Donald Trump is an old guy. He really needs to pass the torch on to Elon, JD Vance. He needs to start lame ducking it. You know what it means to lame duck it? What? Woohoo! Lame duck it means you say F it. You lame duck it, man. You don't play both sides of the aisle. You don't do X, Y, and Z. You don't care about how your poll numbers are. You can poll in the trash, and it doesn't matter because you're doing what's right for this country. And you sign executive order, executive order, executive order. Fire people, do this, do that. Just go for it, man. James K. Polk made Manifest Destiny reality in 1 4-year term. He got us California, Texas, the Mexican-American War, Arizona, New Mexico. Boom, everything. Signed deals for Oregon with the British. It's just completely knocked it out of the park in 4 years. Donald Trump, you haven't done anything yet. We're still spending more money than we're taking in. The debt is moving at the same level as it was under Biden. Your attorney general is still hiding the Epstein list. Give us something other than vibes, something real. I mean, I know that tariffs and the tariff stimmies have been talked about. I'll take a tariff stimmy because as far as I'm concerned, we're paying those taxes when we're paying the tariffs. So getting my own tax money back, I'm not going to be too proud to just get my own tax money back. Like, yeah, I'll take it.
We did it, Joe.
You gave me my own money back. Thank you, King. Okay, like honestly, I'd rather get rid of the tariffs, and I'm sure that I appreciate at least Donald Trump's strategy in trying. We're bringing in money in tariffs, and we're still spending more than we're bringing in. So all this beautiful tariff money, we're going to start paying off the debt. show me the debt not go up for like a month. I'll believe you. I'll believe you that things are changing if we can stop going into the debt for 1 month. It stays at 38 trillion and the number doesn't go up for 1 month. Is that even possible? I'm not a big enough man to believe that that's possible, but I'm a big enough man to apologize and say I was wrong if that indeed can't happen. So here's something controversial Elon said at the Saudi summit.
AI and humanoid robots will actually eliminate poverty. And Tesla won't be the only one that makes them. I think Tesla will pioneer this, but there will be many other companies that make humanoid robots. But there is only basically one way to make everyone wealthy, and that is AI and robotics.
And we can't talk about robotics without AI.
But AI.
Okay, so this I love Elon. He's great. He moves the goalposts for humanity, but he always goes further than our minds can handle and goes past what's actually real. Like, I will be able to do self-driving by the end of next year, and then 10 years later, we're still not there. That's the type of thing that Elon does. He does it to push everybody, makes promises that he has to deliver on. I appreciate the strategy, but here's the problem with this. Even if humanoid robots make all consumer items free, I mean all consumer items. So everybody's got a personal robot. Every manufacturing plant has everything. So that basically cars are free, energy's free. We still have land, and we still have nice places, and we still have crime and terrible places. So even if the robots can make it utopia, we will have the south side of Chicago, we will have Iraq, we will have Juarez, Mexico, that will make it hell on earth. Because the people there are hell on earth. And there's nothing a robot's going to do to change that. You're going to still get stabbed in London. You're going to still get murdered in Chirac, Chicago. So, how do you choose who gets to live where? Why does one person get to live on the beach in Newport Beach? Why does one person get to live on Hawaii? Why would Zuckerberg get hundreds of acres if there's no more money and there's no more poverty? How do we make the decisions on who actually gets to choose where to live different places? Is it a lottery? No. There will still be utility in money and having better income and being more valuable so that we can create a hierarchy among ourselves to I produce more, I get the beach house in Hawaii. That'll still be a valuable thing that you can't eliminate even if you make the iPod free or the iPhone free or the car free or the house building free. You're still going to have government problems with regulations where they're going to have stupid regulations. They're going to say, here on Oahu, you must hire a Native American, Native Hawaiian to build the buildings. There's going to be, those stupid regulations are going to come where they'll be like, it's free to do this with robots, but we're so rich here that we're going to require that you have a tribal elder do a ceremony before you build, and you must hire Native Americans, and then the inspector is going to come in and he's going to charge you money because of the schools, and you're going to have a lot of hell. There's going to be a lot of negativity because of government that we will not be able to stop, especially if we're rich. If we create $1 in new wealth, what shares go into the government? Because honestly, they will always want their share. Their taxes will go down from payroll taxes because there's more robots. They're going to invent robot taxes. I guarantee you, if I Google that right now, that there's already somebody somewhere that's created a robot tax. And it's unavoidable because power bases are used to having power. And if something is subtracted from their power base, they will go figure out how to add another tax to create more power somewhere. You dodge regulation, they'll write another. You remove their tax base, they'll add another tax. So there will still be evil people. A lot of those evil people are going to be in government. And those things are not going to be eliminated by robots. And I understand that Elon's doing a sales pitch as a company that makes robots. And I appreciate it to think about utopia, because those are nice things to think about. People just simply aren't that way. So until they are, we'll deal with the fact that they aren't. And I'm going to go back to the chat and say, what are you guys asking? It's just Bruiser55. Thank you, Bruiser and Barney Styles, for your participation in the show. Please go tell your friends about the show that we're going to have Analyzing Finance with Nick on in a few minutes. I'm going to message. Okay. I'm going to grab the link to the show. Thank you all for watching. We'll deal with it. Then I'm going to come back to chat. Let's do thoughts or bots. Chrome. Let's see who the requests are from. Clarissa Lim says, hey. Oh, wait, guys, let me help you out. Okay, and then you gotta talk back to these bots. Say, hi there. Have you watched my show? I am live right now and it is free to watch. You share your show with this little Pakistani man. Do we have any more? Another Clarissa who says, same name. Wow. I'm just going to do the link to this one. There you go. Spam them right back, guys. They don't have any shame. Why should you? And then we have a deal going where if you buy any 2 items, you get 15% off of the 3rd item. So we have Liberal Tears mugs. I have this man tank. People love this man tank. It looks good on me. It looks good on you too. Liberty Tonight mug. I have this mug. It's beautiful there. Liberty on the Rocks crew has a dozen of these mugs. Thank you guys for being good supporters of the show. We appreciate you every single day. And I am at the 5-minute mark. So I am going to go to standby screen and I will be back with Nick Pardini.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Wow. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
At all, we do not.
Every race is welcome.
1,
2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Wow. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
At all, we do not.
Every race is welcome.
1,
2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go, Nick.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Wow. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
At all, we do not.
Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go, Nick.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Wow. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
At all, we do not.
Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go, Nick.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Wow. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
At all, we do not.
Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go, Nick.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Wow. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
At all, we do not.
Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go, Nick.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Wow. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
At all, we do not.
Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go, Nick.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Wow. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
At all, we do not.
Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody Everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go, Nick.
Hey, Brian, this is Nick.
This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not
Will I be able to see the comments?
But every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome.
Okay.
Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna look at the comments because I don't want the echo.
Because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go, Nick.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Wow. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
This is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here. If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome. Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out. They're chimping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go, Nick.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Wow. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome.
Have you brought on guests before?
If you can't be peaceful, but every race is welcome. If you're a racist, you're not welcome. Every race is welcome. 1, 2, 3. Our president is a pedophile.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the fuck out.
They have a comment saying, "Can't hear you," and I don't hear an echo.
Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country.
Dang it. It's not showing Nick.
Well, I'd like to be able to be seen.
Yeah, well, you're live right now. I'm pretty sure everybody can hear you, but nobody can see you.
All right, is there something I need to do on my end?
Display capture. Oh.
Okay, I see your screen now, but I'm blank.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, don't know what it's all about. I can remove it. Display capture, video capture. Well, people can hear you, Nick, but they're not going to be able to see you. Let me solve it. Okay. Right click. Well, this is the first time I'm using Teams on this new computer since I bought the new computer. So I can show.
Is there another way you'd have done this with guests previously?
Yeah, Zoom. I could do this on Zoom.
Hey, that's what we need to do, is switch to Zoom.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 city.
Okay. So we're back with Nicholas Pardini. Nick, would you like to introduce yourself and how you have become famous on YouTube?
Hi, my name is Nicholas Pardini. I am a portfolio manager at a wealth management firm named Spearhead Advisors here in Newport Beach, California. I started my YouTube channel 4 years ago analyzing finance with Nick to break down like ideas in finance, macroeconomics, and sociological issues that connect both of those topics in a way that would be interesting to viewers and stuff that was kind of too esoteric to use for my practical investing purposes. And I made a video called Why Old Money Supports the Left about a year ago, and that caused my channel to grow rapidly because I'm kind of willing to say certain things about the truths in economics and finance that maybe some other content creators will not or are not educated enough to address properly.
All right. Well, I'm collecting our volume levels, making sure they're good, fixing everything that was wrong. Thank you, everyone who has hung out and waited for us to solve all of our problems. This is Liberty Tonight. I'm here with Nicholas Pardini from Analyzing Finance with Nick. I met Nick in sophomore year of high school, where we together started the Young
Junior year of
Rep-
high school.
What?
Nick. I think it was our junior year of high school.
No, I think we met our sophomore. You think it was our junior year?
Yeah, I didn't know you sophomore year. That was my first year back in Newport,
Okay, so in junior year of high school, and we started the Teenage Republican Club together, where I took 1 year as president and he took 1 year as president. And since then, you've gone off to live your life. And the topic of tonight's show is the future of this country. What are the regulations that need to change, the social things that need to change? How do we save this country? Nick, what are the biggest levers that you think that we can turn?
I mean, there are a lot of them. I think the biggest one is some sort of direction towards more financial integrity with the way our public finances are run. We are running World War level, recession level deficits in with supposedly a growing economy. You cannot do this ad infinitum without serious macroeconomic consequences, whether that is extreme austerity in response to the bond market rebelling against the government, or inflation as a byproduct of money printing in an attempt to deal with the fiscal crisis. I think immigration is another one that needs to be dealt with, because the cost benefit analysis for immigration has drastically changed over the last 40 years, and our society really is not adjusted for it. And the other thing too is the America's shift from a high trust society to a lower, and if we're not careful, become a low trust society. And a lot of people would want me to talk about the birth rates and the demographic crisis, but I think that is more of a symptom than a cause to attack. The other thing is the housing costs. That is something that is also a symptom of bad policy more than a cause, but it needs to be dealt with, though. You need to find a way to create enough skin in the game so that younger generations of Americans actually want to participate in a pro-social manner in society.
Elon said that robots are coming to make everything basically free. Do you think that that's possible, a possible outcome?
If enough time, it's a possible outcome. I think that robots will be what people are afraid of ChatGPT replacing jobs for white collar people. Robots are going to be that for blue collar workers. So everybody says, oh, I should go work in the trades to avoid AI disruption. I think they are going to be gravely mistaken with that line of logic.
Yeah, it might get you some amount of time, but it's not going to last forever.
I think people overestimate the speed that LLMs and AI are going to disrupt the white collar workforce, and they underestimate the speed that robots are going to disrupt the more manual side of the labor force.
Well, if the robots are in short supply, it'll ultimately go to whatever has the highest ROI to be able to afford. Like, if they can sell Optimus for $100,000 a piece until there's enough of them, it may not go to the lower cost trades for a while until there's volume.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to get something like Optimus or a fast speed version of Mobile Aloha for $50,000 within 5 years. Like, if you could have an employee for the cost of the same price as a mid-sized car, without any benefits and stuff attached to it, the ROI for that to pay off, even if it's a minimum wage worker, is very quick payback period for that. Like, within 2 years, you'll get your break even.
Well, I mean, we saw Elon promise a $35,000 Tesla, and it's been 10 years, and I haven't gotten a $35,000 Tesla.
Model 3s are about that much.
If you adjust for inflation, he hit the mark after a decade. But it's things like that where they might be able to make the robots and they're working, but the average person isn't getting one at home quickly. I think the ramp could be a
Yeah,
lot
but
slower. Or what if Ukraine or Europe is ordering 100,000 of them to be army bots?
yeah, I mean, then that would probably ramp up production that much
Do you
quicker.
think that Terminator is going to be real? We're going to see the robot armies?
I think we were going to see robot armies, but I don't think it's going to be Terminator. I think it'll be more like the battle droids in Star Wars. Like they individually will not have brains. It'll be kind of like something like Palantir, which kind of coordinates the whole thing like a digital swarm of bees or something. And or like chess pieces that move themselves. I think it would be more like that.
It kind of feels like the the British show up with muskets and the native tribe has spears and the British just like wipe the floor with 5 people. That's going to be the Octobots. They're going to see us as like the primitive cavemen with fleshy bodies, and they'll just be able to wipe the floor with us whenever they flip the switch, and then Terminator becomes real life.
I don't know. I'm a little bit more optimistic about Terminator not becoming real life. If anything, it would be like a human robot hybrid, and maybe you would have robots be the ones who go into space. And the only way maybe an American or a human being really in general can make it to Alpha Centauri or other solar systems is by fusing with a robot so they can't die.
Oh, well, every sci-fi movie I've ever seen, we go into hibernation. We're asleep for the long space journey.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that the distances are so long that it would have to be centuries.
Will the birth gap, sex robots, porn kill all the humans on their own?
No. I think a lot of the birth rate stuff is a product of, this is where I disagree with a lot of social commentators on this side of the aisle, is it's not really a cultural reaction as a product of feminism or against feminism. It is a product of affordability, particularly in the places that have high-paying jobs. Like, it's not a coincidence that the cities that have the lowest birth rates in America, San Francisco and New York, happen to also be the highest cost. It's not a coincidence that there's a negative 0.5 correlation between birth rate and the affordability of a 3+ bedroom house in a top 10 metropolitan area in major countries. And I think that if you did have a large decline in population as a product of people not having kids basically since 2008, once the boomer generation turns over, you're going to have a lot of open supply for housing and a lot of other things. College already is starting to impact it by the enrollment cliff. You watch my video for the full details on this, but colleges are starting to have a hard time, particularly the less prestigious ones, filling up their classes not because of a bunch of people saying, oh, college isn't worth it anymore. It's because there's just a lot less 18-year-olds today than there were in 2007. And so that is going to already cause a downward trend in college tuitions, along with President Trump's caps on student loans that were in the Big Beautiful Bill Act. The thing, though, I think ultimately will be the housing is demographic turnover. The one way I would be wrong is if the politics went very generous on immigration, which I just, given the risk of AI and robots disrupting jobs, I don't think is politically viable even on the left.
Do you see if we had a fall in employment income from a tax perspective? So the Social Security Department gets less income because people are working less. Income taxes all over the place are going down. How will governments react?
Well, there's a few ways. One, if they'll have to cut services for the elderly populations. And given a lot of the rhetoric we're starting to see against like people not having kids, they might target childless people over a certain age to take the brunt of any sort of benefit cuts. Or if that's just not politically viable to do that, you'll have to change the taxation model from being income based to more asset based.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Do you think that the government actually is capable of making, which ones are they capable of making these changes with? So
I think now that you're giving me an idea, actually, the problem is you can't do financial assets because financial assets can move. If say, for example, they do a 1% wealth tax, so like everybody that's $1 million dollar net worth or more, let's just say they'll probably have to do a little higher than that, $20 million net worth or more, has to pay now 1% every year, like on their assets. Like if they had the government as their financial advisor, but doesn't actually help them manage money, then all these people would just move their money overseas overnight, as long as you had free movement of capital, which I don't think America could get rid of free movement of capital. Otherwise, foreign investment would decline significantly. And so you can't target financial assets or anything that ownership can be mobile or be dependent on your citizens. Even if it's like a physical like business in a sense, you still have somewhat of a hard time if it's private equity shares owned by foreign investors. The one thing that you can do is you can target the tax of property, whether it's real estate, farmland, mining and oil rights, things that are in the ground, and or literally the ground in the case of real estate, because you can't take your apartment building or your house with you if you move overseas. And so that would be the way they would realign it. The other thing is you can have more consumption-based taxes. If you have domestic consumption is done domestically, it could be collected domestically. You can't capital flight your way out of sales taxes. So you're going to have to structure the tax system if you want to have a similar level of government services more towards either consumption taxes or property taxes.
do you think there's a non-financial way we could buy out the Social Security and Medicaid benefits? So is there a solution where we say you get an Optimus bot, you don't have to pay any taxes, no property taxes, and but you don't get a check every month anymore? Like, is there a way out? Is there a way to buy out?
I mean, the way would have been is to let young people opt out at the beginning of their careers so they could plan financially not to have it. However, when I think George W. Bush had a proposal to do that such thing, and it didn't work. Or you can do a model like Singapore or Chile, where instead of it being like a generic payroll tax going into some government trust fund, that it's basically your own 401k, but you are mandatory have to contribute to it. And you can
know
put
what
it
might
in a
work
series
here
of
in
investments.
America? We say,
What?
you know what might work here in America is we say, we'll give you a check for $50,000 if you opt out of Social Security.
Yeah, but how would that financially, how would the numbers work with that?
How the numbers work is we would get all of the low-hanging fruit who are too stupid to do the math, and they're 65 years old, and they say, oh, I could get a new truck and take the $50,000 check.
Yeah, but then you're gonna have a problem with a bunch of old people in poverty who have a lot of voting power and nothing to lose.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that we've ever had a revolution because of 94-year-olds with guns.
No, but people are going to just not accept a bunch of homeless 70-year-olds.
Yeah, we've really broken. That brings up to the next connection is we've really broken up the family in America because of social nets, because of the commodity of the modern world of being able to go get a job and cross the world and set up life in a different state in a different part of the country and have the loosest of connections to your parents, where it used to be a life or death thing that you took care of your parents because they took care of you, and now that's completely lost because of things like Social Security.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a coincidence that basically family ties have dropped significantly since the advent of Social Security. Like Social Security allows the flexibility for young people not to feel like they are responsible for their parents. There are some upsides for that. Like if you're born from a dysfunctional family and you didn't have a good relationship with your parents and they would just be a liability and no help to you, then that would be a good thing. But for most people who have good relationships with their family, or otherwise would have good relationships with their family, it's broken down because if people feel like, and that's in general with a lot of the welfare state and similar types of policies, they're not really doing charity in like the classical or Christian sense. They are basically outsourcing your responsibility to other people through the state. Like I think that's what people, it's not that people who are for these are more empathetic than the typical person. It's more that they're like, I don't want to be bothered. I'd rather have the government deal with it than have to take responsibility for my own community or my own family members.
So how do we actually fix that in society? I feel like that's the broken engine that makes a happy society.
Yeah, if the fiscal situation was better, an idea that could possibly work would be to allow family members to be able to write off 100% of their caregiving expenses or financial support for weaker family members. So, say if you're a successful businessman in his 50s and you have a son and a daughter living in New York and can't afford to pay rent on their apartment, like if you gave them money to subsidize that, theoretically you'd be able to write that off on your taxes. Or another example would be like if you have an older parent that needs to be taken care of, like instead like if you covered all their bills and the caregiver medical expenses, etc., because they didn't save for retirement, then you'd be able to dollar for dollar write it off. But the problem is that I tried to run the numbers on it and they just don't balance well enough. Like even if you cut
not without cutting giant social
you'd have to
programs.
completely abolish Social Security and Medicare. And the thing is that due to our culture, you have enough people with estranged families that too many people would be left behind if you did a complete
We're
cut
going
right
so
away.
far beyond estranged. We're at a point where like famous celebrities are getting praised in the news because they say they are going to leave nothing to their kids. It used to be that you were the worst kind of father to die and leave your kids nothing. And now we celebrate the celebrity leaving their kid nothing.
Who's really celebrating other than their own social circles, though? I mean, I've seen some statistic among like more progressive, wealthy people that 30 to 40% of them don't plan on leaving anything to their kids. But if you look at the data on this, a lot of them can't leave anything to their kids because they can't afford to, because boomers did not save sufficiently for retirement. And then outside of that, end of life care has gotten so expensive for people, and going through the healthcare system at older ages, even with Medicare's assistance, particularly long-term care. And I think this is where the robots might come in, because the robot can drastically lower the cost of long-term care and can get rid of senior housing. Like you don't need to send your parent to a retirement home if they have dementia or some other serious disease, if you could have a robot kind of handle a lot of the chores and operation of the household for them.
If you let's put yourself in the shoes though, would you rather be in a home with other people and a real life nurse, or have Optimus at home and be completely free of all human? Like the robot sends a text to come pick up your dead body and you don't see humans for a long period of time.
I mean, I'm a little bit more introverted, so I might be biased, but I think I'd rather have Optimus, and then if something is, I'd have the doctor come in and check once a week if something is off. We can schedule something like that and make sure that hopefully by that age, that my kids and my future grandkids and other people in my life want to come and visit.
Yeah. Would you ever make yourself a cyborg? What parts of your body are you willing to make a robot?
I wouldn't really touch anything in my brain or my face. I don't really want to. I probably wouldn't. Maybe like certain because of risk of like heart attacks and things. Maybe like key arteries and veins and things like that. I would make more robotic so they can't build up plaque. But anything that actually affects my actual identity, I wouldn't want to replace. But more to repair things that are getting bad, like maybe fix a nerve, rewiring nerves or arteries, or like the plumbing of your body, metaphorically
Yeah, I mean,
speaking.
I'd rather organically have some kind of biotechnology that regrows all these things and have it be fleshy still, and have I basically don't want to. I'd prefer not to set off a metal detector, but if I break a hip and that's my option, fine.
Yeah. The other question I have too is, Brian, if there was a medical technology that allowed you, if you just with a few injections over a 6-month period, that would reduce your biological age from 80 to 25, how much money would you pay for that?
If we are pretending that there's a study that shows that this helps you live 50 years longer, and it's not just blood biomarkers, like there's actual proof that this is going to make you live longer.
Yeah, let's just say you turned into 25-year-old Brian in 6 months. How much would you pay?
The data's got to say I will live longer, right?
Let's just say you'll live at
Clearly.
least back to the age that you took the
Yeah.
injection.
And not just fake stuff, but like really you live longer. I mean, priceless. Like let's say it's gotta cost less in time than my income at my peak, right? So I have to net life after work from the experience. So say my total peak income is $250,000. Though, I mean, my peak might go up if I live longer, right? So that's relative. But it's not everything, right? I can't give up 2 years worth of banked savings to net 1 year. Unless you're going to give me a 50-year mortgage on 1%, and then I will borrow as much as you give me. Can I take this out on a loan and then go bankrupt?
Yeah. I mean, I think that you can't loan but no bankruptcy.
Oh, bummer.
Like a student loan, if it's structured like that.
Okay. What about you?
Oh, I'd mortgage to the hilt for that. That's worth more than a house.
Definitely worth more than a house.
Whatever. Probably, I don't know. My lifetime, that's probably worth. I made $10 million would probably be the most I'd pay for something like that.
Yeah, per year, you got a net life, but I'm on board because if you live longer, you also have the possibility that medical technology gets better, right? So you have a chance that you're not just extending your life by the 20 years. It might be 40 because near the end of your life, medical technology gives you even more.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is, speaking of the longevity thing, that is the other solution to the demographic problem that people don't really talk about.
Just work more. Work until you're older.
If we can keep people living longer, it will fix a lot of these problems. And if people are living longer, we don't need as many young people, especially with robots and AI. Like example would be, they've done research on this. The average 70-year-old today has the same mental health and brain strength as a 53-year-old did in 2000. And I never really hear this when it comes to the demographic problem. And everybody just assumes that like once you turn like, I don't know, 60, you're worthless to society. And right now, like I notice most people do retire who are like high productive, like cognitive brain type jobs. If they have the choice to, it's usually between 70 to 75, even if they have the money to retire earlier.
Yeah, I intend to have my mental capacity go as far as possible. And a large part of that, I think, has to do with drinking. Like drinking has gone down a lot in this country over time. And it's known as a carcinogen and it kills brain cells and lots of people enjoy it. But people have slowed down their drinking a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. I mean, people exercise more today. People generally eat cleaner food if they have access to it. And like, yeah, and people are getting divorced less. So those are all correlated with longevity.
Yeah, I think they're getting divorced less just because they're not getting married in the first place. Like only more committed people are getting married in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, there is some truth to that too. But like in general, like somebody, especially for men, like a man who gets never married before 50 is going to live at least 8 years less than somebody who does get married by the age of 50. And I've seen studies that that gap is even in well into the double digit years.
Yeah, I believe it because men are so stupid that they will ignore stuff like this is a weird bump. Okay, well whatever, and then they die of cancer. Whereas like a wife will be like, "Get that checked out." What is that? Go to the doctor. Like that is definitely how women are.
So
They care
yeah,
about you. Same with men who have daughters. Men who have daughters live longer. So I've
yeah.
got 3 daughters. I'm gonna live longer unless you've got daughters coming, Nick.
Well, only God knows at this point. I might end up with all sons for all who, but we'll see.
Yeah, I say just go for it. Build the plane while you're flying. Fly the plane while you're building it.
So
Don't look down the cliff, just jump. That's the best way to do fatherhood.
yeah, I mean, I will follow up with you that in a couple of years when I think it's closer to the horizon.
All right. In one more thing that was on the list to talk about was taxes and
Yeah.
property taxes, income taxes, sales taxes, and the fact that we have $38 trillion in debt. What could be the best way out of this path?
Well, we're going to assume, because I know you have very libertarian sensibilities, Brian, that we cannot drastically shrink the state to like a minarchist or anarcho-cap level for this thought experiment. Like the easiest thing to do is to cut spending and just abolish all the entitlements. But I don't think that's politically viable. There are other less ethical solutions that you can do to fix this problem, but they are also not viable for political or ethical reasons. So if we take
the Zimbabwe solution seems like the most, I'm going to bet is the most likely option. You just print.
No, because that is going to lead to more problems than it solves. Like the thing is that the politicians have more to lose in a Zimbabwe solution than they do in a default of the federal government. Like we've seen what happened with this great inflation cycle we had from 2021 to 2024, where every in that election cycle, every incumbent leader in the developed world, with the exception of Canada, changed political parties for the leadership of their executive branch or their legislative branch. So like, yeah, whether it was Trump taking over Biden's place, whether it's Milei in Argentina, whether it was the turnover in a lot of European countries and Korea and Japan, like basically every major country that had elections switched parties or the incumbent lost serious amounts of seats because of inflation. And that was a relatively minor bump in inflation. If you had like a hyperinflation level, the politicians wouldn't just be worried about losing elections, they'd be worried about losing their lives. And so the way that they're going to have to deal with this is they're going to have a combination of tax reform and spending cuts around the edges. I did a whole video about how I would balance the budget on my channel back in January. If you want full suggestion, I did it probably more from a perspective that'd be more sympathetic to this audience, where for every $1 in tax/revenue increases, I would cut $9 in spending, which is about the ratio you're going to need to do this, or maybe 2 to 8. Like, you can't tax the rich out of this problem. The math does not really math. You can possibly try to tax the middle class out of this problem, but then your economy probably dies. And you lose all your competitive advantages versus European economies if you did that. So the solution is you're going to have some retirement reforms. Your defense spending is going to have to go down, and a lot of mandatory discretionary spending is going to have to go down. And yeah, it's going to be a kind of like just a retrenchment from the United States' welfare state and a retrenchment of the military industrial complex in a moderate scale. And then the tax structure is going to have to be changed so that you have, again, more consumption and income, and not income, consumption and property-based taxes over income taxes. Income taxes are the least efficient form of taxation out there. They weren't really designed to maximize revenue. The income tax, particularly on the higher end, is mainly designed as an envy management signal so that the lower classes don't get angry about the existence of the rich. Like, if you're actually trying to, and a lot of economists have done research on this, if you're trying to maximize revenue, property tax is the most efficient way to do it. And this is why I don't really support things like Ron DeSantis' proposal to eliminate property tax. In fact, you need to kind of, if you're going to have to raise taxes anywhere, that's probably the place to do it, because it does two things. One, it raises revenue that is very hard to avoid. And two, it will likely lower the housing prices and make it more affordable for younger people to buy housing. The problem with our income inequality curve, it's not just that there's the 1% and the 99%, it's just a few rich old money families. If you adjust for age, the world is in America especially, it's a lot more equally distributed. It's basically, you have a few wealthy boomers who own most things and a lot of young people who have no skin in the game. And you need to tax the people who have the assets if you want to fix the problem, which are the wealthy older people.
I appreciate the fact that property taxes are hard to raise because people get kicked out of their houses if they can't pay them. And so there's a huge resistance to actually having those taxes, unlike income taxes, which create, you just get up and move. Like you just change something.
Yeah, but why don't you just sell that house to your kid and structure it in a way?
I like property
owner. So
I like property taxes more than income taxes, because income taxes require you to lift up your skirt and let the government come in and look at it, and gives them the excuse to arrest you if they don't like you for made up reasons, because the tax code is tens of thousands of pages long. And nobody likes that.
And I think also the other thing too is that a lot of people argue that, like, against my argument on property tax would be, let me clear my thoughts on this. Okay, if, say for example, if I have to pay property tax, I don't really own my property. That's like the most common rebuttal I get for this argument here. And really my response to that is, well, with income taxes, then you don't own yourself.
Exactly.
I would rather
I think
have
we're comparing two evils, right? I would love to have neither. But if I had to have one,
I think a lot of the property tax abolition is boomer style populism, where older people who are retired and no longer have income don't mind higher income taxes. Like, this is the California model or the Hawaii model. Like, they don't mind having income taxes because they're not in their working years anymore. And it's not a coincidence. These two states with the lowest property taxes, California and Hawaii, have the most unaffordable housing, and places with relatively high property taxes like Texas and Illinois have very affordable housing, despite the fact that these are some of the largest population centers in the country. Like, the whole government is going to have to shift to more a Texas or Illinois style tax structure versus the current one we have, which is more resembling the California structure.
Yeah, I agree that it's renting your property and that it's evil and that taxation is theft. But I think that income tax is worse. That's all I'm saying. I'd like to use the last few minutes of our interview just to go through and invite everybody to come and ask questions. We have several people in the chat. Thank you, Quest Fanning, for donating memberships. He says the difficult part of rejecting socialism and extant entitlement is that you need to be socially accountable. Okay, and then Nelson65, thanks for $5. Depends on your quality of life. Yeah, I definitely think living longer based on quality of life is the most important thing to bring into to adjust for, right? Like I'd personally, Nick, rather live in the nursing home with other people than alone with a robot on my own property because I hate being alone. But with your friends and family, and then Optimus helping you go to the bathroom might be a better scenario than the nursing home away from your family.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends. On like how close your family lives with you, and do you expect to outlive your family or not?
Yeah, have lots of babies. Don't outlive your family. By the way, I learned something absolutely hilarious today. Captain Cook sailed around the world. His crew stopped in Tahiti to look at Venus because the Royal Society paid for him to go look at the transit of Venus across the sun. And every single member of his crew had syphilis when they left.
Well, there's even crazier story. The Tahitians really value nails.
Oh yeah,
And so,
and the boat was nearly falling apart because they didn't have any nails.
yeah, all the ship holders traded nails to the local women, and so they almost couldn't sail home because the ship had no nails left.
Yeah, like basically threat, and they also had a mutiny of people who tried to run away and escape to live in Tahiti and not when they were trying to leave. And so Captain Cook, I'm reading a book on this today, and so he takes the chief captive as hostage and saying, "Bring me my crew back, and you get your chief back." And so he went and got all the crew that was trying to desert to live in Tahiti because they loved it. They're like, "Why would you want to go back to England? It's terrible."
Yeah, but what would they have done in Tahiti if they had no more nails to sell them?
I think that they were having a really nice time, Nick. And that being a Navy man on a boat across the world in the ocean that might kill you is just you're not weighing apples and oranges. You're weighing death on the high seas with nothing but men and beautiful women. So yeah, anyways, those are really funny stories. And poor Tahiti got their first experience with the West is also welcome to syphilis.
I think also the etymology of the word tattoo comes from Tahitian languages.
Yeah, it sounds like you may have read the same book as me.
Yeah, I think I might have.
Yeah, Quest Fanning says, weren't income taxes supposed to expire in the decade in the 1920s? Yeah, the worst thing is world wars. World wars give you, and civil wars give you taxes and systems that are there forever. Do we need another world war to get rid of our systems, Nick?
No. I mean, the reason why world wars fix a lot of structural problems is because they reduce the population and the excess capacity of the population by 5% or so. But that is, we might be doing that through attrition in the form of low birth rates.
Not at my house. Not at my house. And hopefully not at your house, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, what is a peaceful way of reducing the bottom 5 to 10% of people? Like, because like if you, I mean, that would be the kind of the dilemma. That's why wars have historically worked. But the problem is that you can't. There's no you can't really You can't really have a non-wartime policy for that because it's just as unethical as a war. It's wrong.
I think they're taking themselves out by playing video games and watching adult videos and not doing anything with their lives.
And the other thing is, I think the AI romantic relationships are probably going to be more evenly balanced in terms of gender, or maybe even more women use them than men. That's my contrarian take of your show today.
Yeah, take that, guys. Don't have any relationships with AIs. Do not get a robot friend. You get a robot servant, and stay a human as long as you can. Anyways, Nick, thank you so much for coming on the show and dealing with some technical issues at the beginning. Is there anything that you would love to share with everybody?
Yeah, if you'd like more of my content and in depth and prepared type of stuff, watch my channel Analyzing Finance with Nick. You can also go to my website, nickpardini.com, to learn more about me and my businesses. I also do a tour where I travel around the country to meet my audience and have live speeches. I will probably be coming to a city near you in 2026 if you're American, and in 2027 if you are European.
Yeah, and where's the tour schedule?
Well, I haven't released it yet because we haven't ironed it out, but the first 5 stops are published now. They're Newport Beach, January 31st, Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, January 23rd, and I'm going to 2 places in Australia in February, Sydney, and the Gold Coast on the 5th and the 13th.